Good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday. We're going to go ahead and get started. I have quite a few of announcements I want to go over. I sent out a link for those of you who might be having difficulty with your Simchart. Remember, we are not in the Simchart playground simulations. We're in the actual exercises. So if you're in the simulation playground, you're in the wrong place. But if you're having difficulty as far as computer usage, you can use a simulation playground, but you need to send me an email letting me know that your computer or whatever is not compatible to get into the exercises. But I did send an email over with how to actually get into Simchart. But if you're still having difficulty, let me know. Remember to always check news and announcements. In news and announcements, we have the book that we're in. I'm still getting emails, and we're on day 4 or 5 now about which book are we using. So that's telling me that you're not actually looking at news and announcements. So in news and announcements, whenever we switch over to a new module, it's the class expectations and tips for success. And I always have the date the module starts and the date the module ends, and also a picture of the book that we will be using. So please make sure that you're looking at news and announcements when you log on and before you log off. Also in e-learning, you have your Zoom class, you have the, I'm going to be placing today all of the information for NCCT prep that you can review, ICD-10, CPT. For my newer students who are not familiar with that, that's current procedural terminology, your ICD-10, you know, all of the codes. You're going to have those packets, because those packets are very important, because when it comes time for that certification exam, you'll have that information to review and look over to study for your certification exam. So I will be placing all of that in your grade section of e-learning. Remember, I think that you all should be able to see that they're going to be having a reboot tonight. So you won't have access to e-learning or anything for about 2 to 3 hours. It starts at 5:30. It should be cleared by 8:30 p.m. tonight, in reference to you completing your assignments. If you're you need to complete at that time and you can't get into e-learning, please email me your assignment. Again, in reference to emails, if you are able to put your assignments in the comment section, please put them in a comment section. You do not need to email me if you're able to place them in comment sections. The email portability is getting overcrowded, and we're not able to receive emails because you're placing your assignments, you're emailing them to me as well as posting them in comments. So it's like overload as far as the emails. So if you're able to place and post in comments, please do so. You do not need to post in the, you do not need to send me an email. Also, when you're emailing me, please only email me. A lot of you are emailing the online director and the director of education, and their emails are getting overload. So when you email, only email me, C. Berry. Do not email Miss April Austin or Miss Jessica Washington. Those are our administrators for online. You do not need to email them your assignments. So just remember that. Email me only, cberry@unitechta.edu. Make sure that if you're posting your assignments in comments, you do not need to email me your assignments. And also, if you're having difficulty as far as your computer, you can work in the simulation playground, but you need to send me an email letting me know that you're having difficulty or your computer is not compatible with the system, because we do have some people, if you're using a Chromebook, a lot of times Chromebook does not work with the simulation playground or with Simchart. Sometimes we have some students that are able to get in, but some Chromebook is not compatible. So please, if you're having difficulty with just the capabilities, let me know, and I'm going to be assigning projects to those who are having compatibility issues with their computer or not able to use their computer to get on. There is a 157 project that I give to students who are unable to complete their exams. But do understand, do not wait until 3 days before the module to ask for that project. It's a whole course, 20-day project that you have to complete. So please do not wait until the last minute. Again, I'm getting a lot of emails with students who are, you have 2 days left in the module, like for last modules, like 2 or 3 days, and everybody's asking for extra credit or, points. If you have extra credit, please let me know. You will be able to use your points, but do not wait until you're in a crisis to state and say that you need extra credit. I did give an extension because we were closed on Friday in observance of Good Friday. So I did give an extension, but this cannot happen every module for the same students that I have to give extensions. That's not fair for the students who are doing their work on time, getting the assignments, and we all have obstacles that come our way. We all have things that go on, but I cannot continue to reopen assignments every time for the same students. That is being noted. When we're doing our attendance, when we have our meetings every morning and afternoon, it's being noted on assignments that I'm constantly reopening all the time for the same students. Like I said, everybody will have difficulty. That's understandable, but not waiting until 2 days before the module is about to end, and then you're trying to catch up on 20 assignments, because you have to realize I have to go in manually and reopen all of those assignments manually. There's no button I can push to reopen. I have to go in and reopen every assignment, every exam, every lab. And I have 5 different classes that I am teaching. It's not just until I have 5 classes, because if you fail a module, you go into independent study. Independent study is where you work on your own, but I still have to be available. I still have to put in assignments. I still have to work with those students who are in independent study. So I'm teaching 5 classes at this time. So please, be understanding. And if I don't get back with you at that moment, I will return your call, or I will email you. Most times I don't respond to emails. I actually give you a call. I'll call or text you. So if I don't email you, I will be calling or giving you a text in reference to any questions you might have. So do we have any questions or concerns in reference to computer issues, labs, or assignments? You can ask me now. No one have any questions or concerns? So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen. So this is the book that we are using. Simchart for the medical office, learning the medical office workflow. This is the book you should be in. You should not be in this book, the electronic health record. You can use that book for some of your patient information when you're inputting a patient if you didn't remember or you need a reference, but we are in this book here, Simchart. So again, like I said, you shouldn't be working in the simulation playground. You should be working in the actual assignments. We're in Unit 3. Unit 3. And like I said, just make sure you're in the right book. So in here, to just do a quick little review, this was Unit 2, front office, those were the objectives. Unit 3, we're in clinical care. So in Unit 3, you're going to be searching for a patient record. So just to review, so what is the first thing you need to do when searching for a patient record? That's one of your assignments for tonight. So you'll have that answer. So no one should have that answer wrong. What is the first thing you need to do when you're searching for a patient record? I'm listening.
Type in their name.
And so if you're typing in their name, how do you confirm? How do you know if it's that patient? They might have the same first and last name. So what would you do?
Date of birth.
Date of birth. You should always make sure, because quite a few people have the same first and last name. I've even come across a person that had the first name, the middle initial, and the last name. So you always, to verify that, you want to make sure that you check that date of birth. That's what you should always be checking for. So everyone should have that question correct for that daily assignment tonight. Searching for a patient record, what you would need to do to make sure that it's correct. So the date of birth. So if I have anything other than a date of birth, I know that everybody did not watch their Zoom class lecture. And I'm finding that out because when we're going over the PowerPoint slides or we're going over different information, when I go to check assignments, the answers are incorrect. So please ensure that you are watching your Zoom class lectures. So the first thing you know now is to make sure that you check the date of birth. So in this unit, again, clinical care, the objectives are search for a patient record, scheduling an appointment, compose professional communication, document patient information and education in the patient record. That was one of your assignments for last night when I asked the 10, what is the 10th step? And I didn't, want everyone to write 10 steps, which, I know I had some questions with that. It was, what is the 10th step? Now that you had to write all 10 steps down, what is the 10th step that you would do? Order a procedure and document orders in the patient record. Create a lab requisition. Upload the document lab and test results. Document and update the problem list. Document diagnostic codes. Prepare a prescription refill. So this is what you will be doing in clinical care in this unit. Module overview. So I had quite a few people to get that last question wrong, not the one with the module about the electronic record, the inventory one. I got that, and if you were reading in your book, the answer was in the helpful hints. Helpful hints. So let me go back to unit 2 to show you where that answer was. That was chapter 1. Let me just go, because I want to show you all where the answer actually was. And quite a few of you had that answer wrong. So I just want to go, it was in a helpful hint. And on here, it's showing you, when we go register a patient, schedule an appointment. It shows you here, step by step. Click the patient demographics icon located along the top of the front office. Clinical care and coding and billing tabs at the top of your screen. So it's showing you step by step of where you would need to go and what you would need to do. This is the questions at the module for clinical practice 3. Register a patient, schedule an appointment. It's showing you step by step of what you need to do. Select the visit type using the visit type drop down. Document the reason for the patient visit, and the chief complaint is giving you this step by step. You want to go to all of this you'll be going in document chief complaint, document a health history, document medication, prepare a medication prescription, document patient education. You had this for your daily assignment. Progress notes, vital signs. So I'm going to get to where it was in helpful hints. So this is unit 2. So just like on here, in helpful hint, Select the desired correspondence or form template and then perform a patient search. All of the information, a lot of your daily assignments, if you're reading, it'll be in your helpful hints section. I'm gonna go back right here, that patient that a lot of people say they couldn't find. Schedule appointment for Talib or Nasser. It's right here. Search for a patient record, schedule an appointment. It's giving you the information right here. And it's telling you the estimated time of completion, 20 minutes. A lot of people told me they couldn't find that patient. Schedule appointment for Cecilia Tapia. It's right here. Want to get further to the other helpful hint. I mean, so many. I think I had about 12 students out of both classes to actually get that question right. Let me look in my book to tell you what actually page that it's on. So many people had that one wrong and it was right. And I'm like, that's lack of reading. You have to read. Let me get it in here. I know it's in unit 2. Under helpful hint. Also on page 26, it tells you about confirming date of birth will help to ensure that you have located the correct patient record. That's on page 26 for the helpful hint. Just trying to find the one that I wanted y'all really to see. And on most of them, it's telling you, go back. It was the one for the electronic health record, paper, inventory. Let me just trying to find it here in your book. Let's see. Okay, on page 12. Let me go back to page 12. This was one of your daily assignments that quite a few people had wrong. Okay, page 12. Helpful hint. Although most forms are electronic, some forms such as the inventory form and the advance directive must be printed and completed by hand in order to demonstrate office workflow. For example, a medical assistant would give an advance directive to a patient for them to fill out by hand. The medical assistant would then upload the completed form to the patient record. 90% of you had this answer wrong, this question wrong. And in your book, like I said, on page 12, helpful hint, it says most forms are electronic. Some forms such as the inventory form and the advance directive must be printed and completed by hand in order to demonstrate office workflow. I had about 10 people to get that answer correct. So make sure you go over your helpful hints. It's very, very important that you know and you understand each system when you're going through it. Next was like schedule an appointment. It's taking long to load. Yeah, something went wrong with that. I know they're supposed to be shutting down e-learning. They said 5:30, but it might be sooner than that. Let's see. I know this says, see, so remember, today is a scheduled maintenance. They're shutting down, they're doing a platform updates to e-learning. So from 5:30 to possibly, they're saying 2 hours, probably 8:30, 9 o'clock, your system, you will not be able to upload or do anything in e-learning. So remember, this is scheduled maintenance today at 5:30 to run updates to the e-learning platform. So I'm just, they shut the other part down with the book, so they might be starting a little early with maintenance. Remember, everything you would need to know is right here on the side. I will be putting your NCCT packets on there. So your chapter 3 PowerPoint slides. Effective written communication. Appropriate tone, pleasant, positive, and professional, clear purpose and goal. Make sure when you're doing correspondence, you make sure that you have the correct grammar, spelling, and punctuation. When you're doing this information, a lot of the businesses and firms, they pay close attention to grammar, spelling, and punctuation. Proofreading and editing. You shouldn't have any spelling errors now because we have Grammarly. They have so many errors. They put red lines under if it's spelled incorrectly, and you just press it and it can make the corrections. So always check your grammar, spelling, and punctuation. Proofreading and editing. Careful reading and examination of a document to find and correct errors. Editing. Assessment of a document to determine its clarity, consistency, and overall effectiveness. Correspondence forms. Provides complex directions or instructions, ensures efficiency, documents an event or fact, maintains confidentiality, obtains patient permission. So these PowerPoint slides, a lot of them, like I said, you need to make sure that you're comparing. And I noticed that some students stated, and we had other instructors have students with the same concerns. You basically really have to have a double screen, or you have to have the book open on your phone, or you have to have something else to actually go back and forth to try to get that patient information to put it in the system, and then trying to navigate through the screen. But this is what's going to be happening in the office as well when you begin your job and begin your career. You know, you'll have a chart up, but you're usually going to have 2 screens, 2 monitors to work from, whereas you would have that chart, and then you would still have another screen where you're able to have the patient's information to input. So I know it can be a little complicated and difficult when you're trying to look at the book and constantly navigate to put it in the system, going back to the book to make sure that you have the correct vitals. But this is only preparing you for what you will be doing in your career. So that's why we had the simulation playground, but now you're actually in the exercises to navigate, to look at what's going on, and then to truthfully see if this is the career for you, because it takes a lot of reading. You have to read, you have to document, you have to read the entire chart, making sure that you're using the correct coding, the correct codes. You might have to talk with a nurse or doctor to see if, you know, if you don't have an understanding what they're stating, to see if you're even documenting everything, you're billing and coding for everything for that office to provide proficient payment, proficient and efficient payment for that service. They might have something that they didn't actually write out that could be costing them hundreds or thousands of dollars. But when you're reading through that chart, you're able to see, well, okay, they don't have this written down. So you need to actually assist or ask questions. Never be afraid to ask that nurse or doctor for clear communication in reference to billing and coding, because you want to make sure that you're coding the correct information that's in that chart. So do we have any questions in reference to the labs and going into the simulation playground?
Do we still have to do the post test?
The
Like
quizzes, yes,
yeah. Okay.
yes. But for this module, you're not actually just graded on all of those post quizzes.
Okay.
So that won't determine your full grade.
Oh, okay.
Any other questions? So let me go to the simulation playground that some of you are working in, but you should be in the actual, you shouldn't be in the playground. You should be in the Simchart. Are any of you that's on having difficulty with activating and getting into your Simchart? If you're able to respond or put something in chat.
Oh, no, no.
I'm not having problems.
I didn't hear you, Jonathan.
No, I don't have any problems getting into it.
Okay. And on here, I'm just going to show you as far as the grading part goes. This is how I can see your grades. This is where it shows who's putting in and who's not, how many you completed, what's going on, it's showing. So quite a few of you are not doing labs. You're not in the simulation playground. I don't even have everybody's name in here. So that's showing too that you have never even logged in. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I can see everything that's going on. If you have not logged in, your name will not even be in here. This is for one of my classes. So make sure that you're actually logged into your Simchart. This is for one of my classes. This is not the other class, but I don't even have everybody's name from this class. So that's showing that you have not logged in or even, begun to get started. So I'm just showing you all that I'm able to see what labs have been done, who are doing labs, and who are not completing labs. It shows the average at the end of each assignment on what you do because it averages everything out. And I take that and I combine it with your other grades to get your average. So make sure that you are in the, not the simulation, because you see, this is not simulation on here. This is the actual assignments, course assignments, not the simulation playground. So make sure that you're in, but if you're having difficulty, you can do your work in the simulation playground. Just send me an email or text letting me know that you're having that difficulty and you're working in the playground. And if you cannot work at all, your computer is not compatible, let me know that as well. And I'll send you module 157 project. And you're to have that project complete by the end of the module. So anybody else having any confusion with the patient or inputting any information with the patient? Any confusion there? So everybody understands how to navigate through each chart. Documenting the patient, finding the date of birth. This is the time now while we're in class to ask those questions so that I can assist you. Look, never be ashamed. This is the only way you can navigate through. This is the only way, and this is how you will be successful in your career. So this module, like I said, is very easy. It's only 20 days. It's a real fast-paced module. It's not, you won't have any exams, so that's the good thing. You're taking your post quizzes in here, and it's just going through your simulations and everything that you did. This is your clinicals that you're doing now. So you don't, by being online, you don't actually go into an office and do this. You're doing your clinicals here in the Simchart playground in the Simchart. This is your actual documentation for clinicals. So if you don't have any other questions, remember to read your emails. I'm going to be putting all of the NCCT packets in your e-learning, your grace section. Remember that the system will be down starting at 5:30 to possibly 8:30 or 9. So if you have to put assignments in after that time, please email me your assignments, or if you can get in ahead of time and put them in, please do so. We're logging off now because, like I said, they might start shutting down different systems earlier. Because they already took my book out. So I don't know what's going on. They already done shut Evolve down already. So, just like if you have questions, feel free to reach out. Please, I cannot stress enough. Please do not wait till the end of the module to ask for assistance. It's not going to help. It's not beneficial because you're really not learning anything. You're rushing to put things in it. When it comes time to that certification exam, you won't pass. You're just putting in work. You will not pass that certification exam. We have had, so far, we've been having great pass rates, which is good. And that's why I said I'm going to put all of the NCCT packets in the e-learning so that you all can start reviewing, start going through your packets. And then when Miss Ashley is one of our other instructors, she's in charge now of, for the next couple of months, we take turns with doing the NCCT class, which is every Tuesday for 2 p.m. She did her class. I did send you all that email. And I also put it in e-learning under NCCT prep class. So watch those, but for more helpful information, I'm going to put all of the different packets in. It's going to be NCCT class, and all of your packets for every subject that we go over, CPT, ICD-10, insurance, billing and coding, all of that will be in your e-learning. If you have the opportunity to download it, print your packets so that you can have that to reference, because when we leave out of the module, you might not have access to get back into it. So please try to print or forward it to your personal email, those packets, forward everything to your personal email. So you'll have reference to it and you'll always be able to study and review. Quite a few students who took these certification exams and passed stated that the packets were a lifesaver. That's what they studied, and that information was on their certification exam. The NCCT prep classes that we're doing, they're saying that's the same information on their certification exams. So please use that information to your advantage, review it. If you only do 10 questions a day, and then, just constantly reviewing each packet, that still is helpful information for you. And when it comes time to that certification, you're familiar with what you're doing. So if we don't have any other questions, everyone will receive an additional, will receive 10 points for joining. And remember, let me know where you want me to place those 10 points. I have, Samara, I know you're probably at work, but you have tons of points. I know Amber was on earlier. You have tons of points you're not using, and I'm just carrying them over. So let me know if you want to use it for an assignment, if you want to use it for, you can't use it for exams, but if you want to use it for a lab, or if you want to use it for assignments, and all of you who are on here now have additional points. So please let me know and make sure that you all are keeping count of your points, because every time you log on, the other ones, I know some are 5 points today. This one is 10 points. So write down your 10 points so you can keep count of it. I have it as well, but if you want to use it toward, say you only do one part and you want to add them up for the end of the week, at the end of the module, if we having 4 or 5, if you're logging on for NCCT, that's 10 points. If you're logging on for your Zoom class, like I said, some are 5, some are 10, let me know and you can use that toward an assignment, or they can build up and you don't have to do an assignment, or you don't have to do a lab. So use those points. Samara, you're going to be in graduated and you're going to have all those points on the table. So, share, like if you want to help somebody out and donate some points, let me know that as well. You can do that as well. But, try and use your points to your advantage to be able to, like I said, help you if you're struggling. And also, I do use those points at the end for your exams. Like say you had a 75. And I can use like 5 or 10 points or whatever if you want to use them for exam, I can add those points to your exam. I do drop your lowest exam. If it will help your grade, I do drop that lowest exam. If it will not help, like say if you had 300s, I'm not going to drop one of your hundreds. You know, I'll drop one of your lowest labs or one of your lowest daily assignments. If you didn't complete one, I'll drop that grade. So I do try to help in every way possible, but you have to be willing to do the work as well. And like for those of you who are always coming to Zoom class or you're participating in NCCT, you're going to get more help, because if it's something you need or dropping a grade that I know, okay, if you have a C and if I drop one of them grades, it's going to bring you to a B, that's helpful. And I know that you've been participating, you'll get those extra points. So just be mindful of different ways on how you can get those extra points to boost your grade. So without further ado, thank you all for joining. You all enjoy the rest of your week. You do not have any exams coming up. You just have to do those quizzes in your labs. So that's good news. Look,
Yes.
that's good news. So you all, I will be recording this now. Let me let you all know. Hopefully I can get it done by the time they shut the system down. If not, you will be receiving your link in Zoom class. Hopefully, it'll be probably after 9 if they don't shut it down before then, if it's not reopened. So I will be posting this in your Zoom class. So just look forward there. But I know they're about to shut it down in a few minutes because I don't know the time. It's different time standards that they're doing. So you all enjoy the rest of your day and have a great and safe weekend. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye. Thank you.